Hello YouTubers, this is SHEM. Last year Sony proved to the world that a smartphone does not need to be gigantic to have a flagship specification, presenting the brilliant Z1 Compact. For the last few weeks I've been testing the new model called Z3 Compact, and in this video I'll bring you my full detailed review. The phone comes packaged in a white card box, on the back of which you can find an image with 4 different color options that the device is available in, and some information about the various technologies used in the smartphone, such as triluminous and X-Reality engine in the display or high-resolution audio driver. Let's have a look inside the box. The first thing you see after opening is your brand new smartphone. I'm gonna put the device aside for a minute and show you the remaining box contents. Once you remove the card divider, you'll find a USB cable for charging and data exchange and a charger. The original unit also comes with MH750 headset, which is not present here. Additionally, there is an instruction manual and a warranty card. So now let's move on to the build and design of the Z3 Compact. There is a protective film covering the front panel, which I'm gonna remove. On the top lies the first stereo speaker, which also acts as a speakerphone, with 2.2 megapixel camera capable of capturing 1080p video and sensors on the right, and a multicolored LED light on the left. Below we have the 4.6-inch HD display in IPS LCD technology covered by tempered glass. Under the screen is the second stereo speaker. Because the phone has IP68 certification, which means that it is water resistant to submerge into a depth of 1.5 meter for up to 30 minutes, all ports are covered with flaps. The left side of the device is where you'll find the first flap that covers the micro USB charging port and the micro SD slot for expansion. Below are the pogo pins compatible with DK48 magnetic chargers sold separately, and yet another flap, this time hiding the nano SIM card slot and a small ribbon with a list of certificates. On the bottom of the phone is a phone leash attachment and the first microphone. The right side is where you'll find a dedicated camera button as well as the volume rocker and a characteristic for Xperia series aluminum power button. The top is where you have a second microphone and a waterproof headphone jack. The back of the device is made of tempered glass and comes with a protective film. Here we can find the 20.7 megapixel camera module known from the predecessor and the flash. Below is an NFC logo pointing to the module location and the Sony and Xperia logos. The sides and the body of the device are made of plastic as opposed to aluminum used in the Z1 Compact. In my opinion, it's not a good move, but it must have attributed to a lower weight and allowed fitting of the bigger screen. The Z3 Compact is 127mm in length, 64.9mm in width and 8.6mm in thickness, and weighs 129 grams. All elements are well fitted together and the size makes it very comfortable in the hand. It offers a minimalistic design and the screen to frame ratio has never been so good on Sony devices. The speaker holes on the front could potentially collect dirt, but because the phone is waterproof that shouldn't be a problem. The distinct orange color gives the device character, and I would recommend this one or the blue one. Let's talk about the technical specs, which are quite impressive. The device is equipped with the quad-core Snapdragon 801 CPU clocked at 2.5 GHz, Adreno 330 graphics chip and 2 GB of RAM. There is also an FM radio and built-in Bluetooth 4.0, LTE, NFC, GPS and GLONASS. With the airplane mode switched on, the Z3 Compact quickly discovered 14 satellites. I had no problems with either mobile network or Wi-Fi reception either. In Antutu benchmark, the Xperia Z3 Compact achieved an outstanding result of 43,842, which puts it at the top of the ranking, similarly to the predecessor a few months earlier. The benchmarks are not always a good indicator of everyday performance, but that is something you have nothing to worry about with the Z3 Compact. The smartphone shows no lags and the performance in demanding games such as Modern Combat 5 or Riptide GP2 is very good with no frame drops. I haven't noticed issues with overheating either. The Xperia Z3 Compact is equipped with 2 front-facing stereo speakers. Despite the new bigger screen, this is in my opinion the most significant upgrade from the predecessor. This is the best speaker location and I'm very glad that Sony introduced this change. Even though the smartphone is waterproof, the sound is better than in most smartphones from competition, and the sound level is sufficient. During calls I had no problems with the speakerphone, and people on the other side didn't complain either. The 4.6-inch display of the Z3 Compact is covered with tempered glass. The HD resolution is quite low for today's standards, but I would like to congratulate Sony for not following into the footsteps of the competition to try and sell us a higher pixel density at the expense of performance. At 319 pixels per inch, you won't be able to distinguish pixels on the screen. Let's talk about the quality. The first thing I noticed is a bad calibration of colors and a blue hue. Fortunately, that could be easily adjusted in white balance settings. After calibration, the display looked perfect. It has high brightness levels and very good viewing angles. There are new image enhancement modes in display settings, and now you have a choice of X-Reality Engine and Super Vivid mode. Glove mode increases the sensitivity of the display and lets you use the phone through any material. Xperia Z3 Compact works on the newest version of Android 4.4.4 KitKat with a skin from Sony. No changes have been introduced to the look or functionality for quite some time, and it feels obsolete. The interface, however, is intuitive and works smoothly. Quite a few of the functions known from other manufacturers, such as the multi-window mode in Samsung, are missing, but Sony has their own small apps which aid in multitasking to some extent. On the list of small apps you can find, for example, a screen capture app, browser or calculator. On the list of pre-installed apps, you can find a Walkman app for music with built-in equalizer and Clear Audio Plus mode, a very cool album app for image browsing with built-in photo editor, Sony Select with apps and offers especially for Sony smartphone owners, or an Office suite that lets you create documents, spreadsheets and presentations. LifeLog is a new fitness assistant from Sony which will track the distance traveled with a ton of other features helping you with tracking your training. In the power menu there is a new screen record function that lets you record the phone screen and simultaneously record with the front camera. You can find a sample video on my channel. The Xperia Z3 Compact comes equipped with a 2600 mAh lithium-ion battery. I've been testing the device for a few weeks, and although I've recently had a bunch of different smartphones, since the Xperia Z1 Compact I've not held a device that would equal its battery life. Fortunately, the new model inherited its truly marathon runner battery life from the predecessor, and the screen on time often exceeded 5.5 hours, which would translate into 2 days of work for a regular user. In phone settings you can find an extreme battery saving mode called Ultra Stamina, which by limiting the functionality to the minimum lets you squeeze out a few hours of work from the last couple percent of battery. Let's talk about the camera in Z3 Compact. The module has not changed from the predecessor, and we still have the brilliant 20.7 megapixel sensor with high aperture, but Sony added a good deal of new software features. The phone can record at a maximum resolution of 4K or Full HD 60 frames per second. The maximum length of recordings is about 11 minutes because there will be an overheating warning after. Other than the standard Superior Auto and Manual mode, you'll be able to find the time-shift video mode known from the Xperia Z2, which lets you record in slow motion, sound photo mode that lets you capture pictures with background sounds, multi-camera where you can record the same scene from multiple angles using a connected Sony Xperia device, Face In, which lets you simultaneously use the front and back camera, and background defocus mode where you can blur out the background after the shot. It's good that Sony finally introduced some new missing features to its camera. The quality of shots is really good, but as I mentioned in the Z1 Compact comparison, the automatic mode has a tendency to overexpose images taken in good lighting. There is, however, a noticeable improvement in night photography. You will need to place a phone on a flat surface or use a tripod to get the best shot, but once you do adjust the conditions properly, your images will be true masterpieces. The front 2.2 megapixel camera has been improved since the Xperia Z1 Compact, but it remains quite average. As usual, at the end a short summary and an answer to whether Sony Xperia Z3 Compact is a smartphone for you. I have to say that in my opinion this is the best smartphone that I've tested till today. Of course its size might seem small in 2014, but it for sure can be used comfortably in one hand. In terms of build quality I have no objections. The phone has a great display to frame ratio and design, and the new colors give it character. The front-facing stereo speakers are a huge improvement over the predecessor, and the long battery life remains the main strength of the series. It's difficult to find any weaknesses of the model. I can think of only the obsolete skin from Sony and a subpar front-facing camera. Xperia Z3 Compact is a brilliant phone, and if you're in two minds whether to buy it, yes is the answer. Sony did a wonderful job, and I'll have a very hard time parting with the testing unit. I hope you've enjoyed the review. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button under the video and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you soon. Thanks.